Conditions continue to worsen in Cuba as the U.S. cuts off critical supplies to the communist regime there.
Cuba's president held a press conference today. It signals he's open to talks with the Trump administration, but he's pushing back on U.S. efforts to cripple their economy. CBS News Miami's Patrick Oppmann is in Havana. He has more on this rare appearance.
So it was a 2-hour press conference, but I use that term lightly because CNN wasn't invited, Reuters wasn't invited, the AP wasn't invited. It was really for the state-run press, and it was stage managed. All the same, it's been the longest we've seen the Cuban president speak in some time, and at times he was angry at the U.S. cutting off oil to this island. Other times he seemed somewhat conciliatory, saying that he would talk to the U.S. without any preconditions and about any topics, which is something of a change because in previous occasions he said he won't talk about political prisoners or any changes to Cuba's political system, the one-party communist rule here. But my takeaway was that the U.S. and Cuba are still very, very far away from any kind of deal. And of course, this island by the day is running out of oil, and we are seeing the impacts of that.
Patrick, you live in Havana. Is the situation as dire as some of the reports and video make it seem?
You know, I think it gets worse by the day, so it may even be worse than what people realize because each day the blackouts get longer, the lines at gas stations can go for hours. You're seeing people sleep in their cars to be first in line in the morning, sometimes just waiting outside of gas stations that don't have any gas or any power, just hoping that one or the other or both will arrive at some point so they can fill up. There's a little bit of desperation. I don't think, like some are saying, that the government's about to fall, but certainly the economy here is crashing and burning. And very soon, according to Cuba's own leadership, we could be in a stage where this economy is basically comes to a standstill and people stop going to work. It's only emergency services at hospitals, and really we haven't seen that kind of situation, that kind of economic freefall since really the fall of the Soviet Union.
And Patrick also told me the Cuban people were surprised how quickly the U.S. was able to make a leadership change in Venezuela, but certainly our hearts are with the people there. So many people have loved ones in Cuba right now, so this really hits close to home for a lot of people.
No doubt about that. And with tensions rising between the U.S. and Cuba, South Florida officials are getting ready for any major developments that could occur. Hialeah, in fact, is putting plans in place to manage any large demonstrations like rallies or protests. Officials say both the fire department and the police department are well equipped to handle what comes their way as conditions continue to worsen in Cuba.
We just look at history to show us that when these conditions are so prevalent, and especially the conversations that are happening between the White House and the island of Cuba and that government, we understand that there could be an imminent change. And so we want to make sure that we are ready because, like I said, we are the city in the entire country with most Cubans, and we want to make sure that whatever celebration, whatever eventuality, that we are prepared.
And officials say they are also investigating and cracking down on any local businesses who may be laundering money to the Cuban communist regime.